Steve Witkoff's story begins in the Bronx in 1957. The son of a clothing executive and an interior designer, he studied political science and law at Hofstra University, then began his career practicing real estate law in Manhattan. He and Donald Trump met while Witkoff was representing Trump at a law firm. An interaction over a sandwich at a deli led to a friendship that would become pivotal in both their futures. By the mid-1980s, he had co-founded Stellar Management and soon shifted into his own company, the Witkoff Group, in 1997. He began acquiring undervalued Manhattan properties from historic towers like the Daily News building to the iconic Woolworth Building and projects like 111 Murray Street. His firm eventually owned or developed dozens of high-profile properties. As of recent estimates, Witkoff's net worth is around $2 billion USD, driven by decades of smart property deals and redevelopment projects in New York and beyond. But that success in real estate was just the beginning. In early 2025, President Trump appointed Witkoff as his first special envoy to the Middle East, a role he took on despite no prior diplomatic experience. Within weeks, Witkoff took part in negotiating a ceasefire and hostage exchange between Israel and Hamas in January. His firm direct negotiation style helped secure the release of dozens of hostages in exchange for nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. Soon after, Witkoff traveled to Moscow for talks with President Vladimir Putin, leading to another prisoner swap between the United States and Russia, involving Mark Fogel and Alexander Vinnik. His negotiations were credited with achieving key diplomatic breakthroughs without formal Senate confirmation. Critics noted that he relied heavily on his friendship and golf club bond with Trump. Trust and loyalty, rather than any bureaucratic training, drives his approach. He even reportedly binge-watched documentaries like Turning Point, the Vietnam War, to prepare for his new diplomatic responsibilities. Still, his style drew both praise and skepticism. While his supporters say his business instincts bring results in complex crises, others question whether a developer belongs at the negotiating table for wars and peace talks. Witkoff's personal life, too, has shaped public perception. In 2011, his son Andrew died tragically of an opioid overdose, a loss that Witkoff has said deeply motivates his efforts, especially in returning hostages home, giving grieving families closure. Today, Witkoff lives in Miami Beach, while leadership of the Witkoff Group has shifted largely to his two sons, Zach and Alexander. Zach is also deeply involved in cryptocurrency ventures, raising additional scrutiny given his father's diplomatic overlap in regions tied to Abu Dhabi investors. What makes Steve Witkoff compelling is the collision of world's real estate and world diplomacy, personal loyalty and public scrutiny. A man who leveraged a serendipitous friendship to become a global troubleshooter. Someone who moved from buying Manhattan buildings to mediating ceasefires within weeks. Newsphere Global has been tracking his evolution from law firm to real estate mogul to what many now call Trump's shadow Secretary of State. His story forces us to ask what qualifies a negotiator: experience or influence, professional protocol, or personal trust. In a world facing wars in Gaza, Ukraine, and beyond, Witkoff's unorthodox path may be as important to understand as his next diplomatic moves. Whether you admired his confidence or questioned his credentials, Steve Witkoff is now undeniably a figure shaping international diplomacy. And the story of how a real estate attorney turned envoy, over just a few months, is one of the most unusual political rises in recent U.S. history.